This is my method for finishing off the ends of your machine binding, the binding that you're going to attach to your quilt by machine. I saw this on an episode of Simply Quilts. Alex Anderson was the hostess of that program from 1978 till 1989 is what I could find on Google. They took it off the air permanently, I believe, in about 2009. So I watched a lot of reruns for many years. So when you do stitch your binding on, you're going to want to leave a good, this is a 14-inch ruler, so there's 14 inches in between. So you have room to manipulate your strips. So you'll want to trim one side, and I just trim about halfway. Just trim with the scissors. You'll get a pretty straight cut. And this binding is 2 1/4 because we're stitching from the back, and then we're going to roll it to the front and machine stitch it on the front. Now, some people will do it a different way, or if you're going to hand stitch down your binding, you would stitch it to the front and then flip it to the back and then hand stitch. So the width of this fabric is 2 1/4 inches. So what we'll need to do is, you can pin this down here to just hold it flat. And then you'll take your other strip and you're going to overlap it. And the amount of the overlap is the width of your fabric. Easy way to do it is just line that up. See, here's the end of my other strip. So I line it up with that. And I actually kind of move it over just a touch, maybe about 1/8 of an inch, so that it's actually less. So I would be trimming this what would equal about 2 1/8 inches. And just snip that puppy right off there. Then you've got your two ends, and we'll sew them at an angle. So here they're like this, and I know a lot of people get confused here. I've seen them come out in really odd ways, but it's just like when you're sewing your strips together. Just do like so, and 2 pins will do it because you're going to sew on this angle from corner to corner so that you have that diagonal seam line. So we're ready to go ahead and sew our angle. If you're more comfortable, you can draw a line. If not, then just start at this corner and then go to that corner. On my machine, I've darkened this line here, which is in line with where my needle will come down. So we find our little edge there. Just a touch. Make sure we're right at the corner there. And see, I'm keeping my corner here in line with this line. And now I can just shoot for that corner. Oops, let's get some bigger scissors here. And I don't rotary cut it, I just approximately cut at about 1/4 inch. And as you can see, it is perfect. And for this, if you want to iron it, take it to the ironing board and iron it, go ahead. Or you can just use one of these, I can't remember what they're called. Wooden iron, I think. Coupon out of the way, and then you're ready to finish your seam. And that taking away that little 1/8 of an inch helps it to lay flatter. If you cut it exact 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 or whatever the width of your binding is, sometimes you'll get a little bubble in there. But this way you can pull it taut and you can have a nice flat seam.